It looks like our everything's running great. So hello there, Kevin.
Well, hello.
How are you?
I'm fantabulous. How are you doing?
You know, I'm here. That's
Yeah.
a plus, and I've been looking forward to today. But before we go any farther, who are you?
My name is Kevin. I go by Cloud Null Online, and I am an engineer at Red Hat, working on the OpenStack product.
You had to take a second there, did you? Are you gonna surprise us with something in the middle of the stream?
No, 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 not at
No,
all.
no.
No, nope.
Okay,
Negative. Nope. No surprises.
no surprise.
I had to think about who
Uh,
I am. I
there you
have
go.
multiple personalities. It's fine.
I like it. I
Yeah.
like it. And hello, everybody. My name is JJ Asgar. I'm a developer advocate for the IBM Cloud, and this is part three, and possibly the last. We will see. Uh, streaming of me and Kevin using RDO to build a cloud on the IBM Cloud. We decided to kind of take a challenge here, which was to take upstream, or sorry, to take the RDO project and use some bare metal on IBM Cloud to build our own OpenStack cluster. The first episode that we have out there, which will be in the playlist and or whatever below when I do this on YouTube, um, it was an interesting exercise that we discovered was not worth the time.
It
It's
was,
a
yeah.
good way to put it.
Our first endeavor was challenging,
Yes, yes,
uh,
challenging.
but we learned a
um,
lot.
we did.
Uh,
We
and
absolutely did.
and yeah, hopefully people can watch this out into the ether and never have to learn those same things again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so part two, which was last week, we rolled out CentOS Stream 8 onto these machines, which we'll share our screen here in just a moment to show. And we got everything more or less up and running up to the point where we had one little hiccup, if not two. And Kevin, what did you do to get our undercloud in the state that it needed to be?
Yeah, so we deployed our undercloud and we were using the head of master. Technfire, or I hope I'm Technofire. Technofire. Yes. Hello. Welcome. Um, we got our undercloud up and running eventually, but during the stream we had some difficulties, and the root cause of that actually was we had and I should have checked before, but we had the EPEL repositories enabled. And so we were
Mm,
getting Puppet from EPEL and Puppet things from DeLorean, which is the upstream RDO.
mm-hmm.
And yeah, it, it caused a little bit of, yeah, a little tomfoolery. So
Okay.
what I ended up having to do to fix it was just I went through and removed the EPEL repository and the packages that it installed, and then reran the undercloud deployment, and everything was fine. So
Oh,
the root cause. Remember, we were having the issue where it was like Etsy Puppet versus Etsy Puppet.
D. Puppet
Was
D.
it was it Puppet D, or yeah, something like that. It was the vendored version. We have some changes we've made to not Puppet itself, but the where we put all of our libraries and such. And so that was not getting read in. So that was what was causing the troubles, which is why we had to create that stupid little symlink, and we were like, "What's going on?" But it was a little bit of tomfoolery, but we just, yeah, like I said, it wasn't a big deal. It just had to figure out, it had to identify the problem.
Was this an opportunity for us? Do you think other people will step along these lines and have this issue, or was it that we were just we had Apple still stuck around that was causing this problem?
If you did like a if you just do a base kick, I don't believe you'll have that problem. I mean, obviously,
Okay.
if you did enable the Apple repositories, our documentation specifically says to disable them.
Oh, okay.
And so, like we've this is a problem. Was a pepcat problem,
Sure.
problem between
And
keyboard and chair.
if I remember
Yeah.
correctly, we actually put Apple on there specifically because I was talking about using failed a ban.
Yes.
Because I was like,
yeah.
these machines are out on the internet. We should probably like not let anyone use these things. Why is failed a ban not there? And we had a whole
Yeah.
conversation about it. So
That
it's,
was the thing. Yeah.
it was probably, so in other words,
Yeah.
it was my fault. It was my
No,
fault.
no, 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 not at all. No, not at all. It's just it's just a thing. And
There you
once
go.
like I said, once I disabled it, everything was fine.
Perfect. All right. So let's share some screens and get on some code here. We were talking about this before we streamed, and I've already forgotten because I'm in a weird funk. And thank you, Will. Yes, it is always my fault. But I do have this. No, wait, this is the wrong machine. Here, send me the teammate link, please.
Yeah. I'm gonna send that over to you right now. I'll shoot it to you in the ERS.
Perfect. There we go.
There you go. There's your
We-
back call back to the chef days.
Exactly. That's why Will's here too, I think. Let me share my screen. Wait. Yes, share screen. And then bring this up. Hopefully we can see, everyone can see. And we should be good to go. Okay. So,
Yeah,
yes.
the undercloud is operational, and we'll just kind of like poke at a couple of things just to kind of see what that's all about, and then we'll get to deploying our overcloud. I suspect we're going to have troubles in the overcloud when we run our network templates, but we'll work through them and iterate on it and see what we can do to solve whatever problems we run into. So I'm resizing my window to match your size.
I got a big screen. What can I say?
Yeah. All right. So, undercloud. We have our files. We have, this is our admin stuff. Let's get over to our stack user. Right. Ta-da. This is our stack user. We've got the stack RC, which we're going to source. We're going to source our little make cloud thing, which is our like helper function that we put here to do the overcloud deployment. We've got everything inside of this command. Well, I guess we'll jump around a little bit, but everything inside of this command is talking about what the name of our cloud is, where our templates are, what templates we want to include, where our roles data is, et cetera, et cetera. So
And these
go ahead.
templates are the ones that we created last week with the
Yes.
successful run of. Okay, just checking.
Yep, we generated the environment files on the top, right? And then we wrote out the deployment server network one, and that was it.
Nice.
So, yeah, and then the net data we wrote out as well using the information we got out of the IBM Cloud Control Panel. And then we know that we're going to be using the management network to SSH over into our remote nodes. We know that our user is admin. We know that our key is here. And we set an NTP server and say that we can use KVM, right?
Yep.
So pretty basic stuff there. And that, like I said, you could actually write all that out. You don't need this make cloud RC tomfoolery. I just do it so that when we run it, you don't see a command line blob that's 3 paragraphs long.
Did you create that admin user and do those keys, or was that the one that we created? I thought we were using the stack user.
We created the stack user on the undercloud, which is what we are using now. And then the admin user was created when you provisioned the other nodes.
That's right. Yes.
So all I did was push keys out to these nodes so that we
Got
can SSH over to them and escalate, right?
Perfect.
And then compute
Perfect.
and compute 2 and compute 3. So yeah, we just have
Sanity check.
yep,
Sanity check.
yep, yep. So yeah, this user was created when you provisioned the nodes.
Cool.
Undercloud wise, there's a couple services that are running, and then a couple that are in the background. We've got Ironic and a few of its supporting services, so that we can provision bare metal if we wanted to. We're not doing that here. We're just using pre-deployed servers, and all of that is um, running in containers.
That's so crazy.
So they these are all of our containers running. MariaDB, RabbitMQ, HAProxy, Neutron, because we use it as an IPMI or as an IPAM rather, and then we've got the Ironic stuff there. But if you're looking at this, and if you're familiar with TripleO of past, right, we're running this off of the head of master, which, for better or worse, is whatever it is. But in the head of master for TripleO, we've done what we've in the community called the simplification efforts, and we have removed services or refactored services such that there's a lot less happening here than there used to be. We used to have Nova and Glance and a whole bunch of other services running all in the background, and Swift and everything else there, which made a ton of sense when like there was a third-party UI that plugged into it, and you wanted shared storage and all kinds of stuff. But we don't really need any of that, because we run it all from the undercloud as a deployment node. So we simplified it. So yes, there's a lot less happening here today than of years past. And that's important because it's good for resource utilization, and you don't need as big of nodes, and et cetera, et cetera. So stuff coming down the pipe, this is the future, right? But yeah, we are running the head of master in terms of OpenStack. So prepare for that. And yeah, like I said, it's all in containers.
Mhm.
There is an effort to use rootless containers,
Oh,
but we're not there yet.
okay.
So these are running as root.
Well, yeah, wait. I thought TFTP, you would have to run that as root. You can't run TFTP without root, right?
There are some things that you need to be able to have privileges for. And there's some performance impact of running rootless containers. And so we're not doing that yet, but it is aspirationally a goal.
Nice. And if I wanted to track on where that was, is that just going into the IRC channel and checking it out, or what's
Yep.
the best way to get that information? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I would, you can check out our specs that are up on upstream OpenStack. You join the OFTC IRC network, jump into pound TripleO, hashtag TripleO, and we're all there
So-
hanging out. Pretty inviting
Richard-
community.
It's called an Octothorpe. actually.
Octothorpe. Yep. Yes. Chat, if you guys are watching and have questions, please chime in and interrupt my rambling. But
That's my job
anyways,
on this- that's my job on the stream too. Don't forget. Just,
yeah, this is true. It's a it's a two-way street here.
exactly.
But yes, as you can see, we are running containers. The containers are from Quay or Key, depending on how you pronounce it. They're running out of TripleO Master, and they've been up for 4 days.
Nice.
So, yeah, and since we've got the undercloud online, I have gone ahead and rebooted it. So
Okay.
it's not been up since we started. I rebooted it after we got the undercloud deployed, so that I can make sure that it would all come back and continue working.
Perfect.
So, yeah, so this is where we are. So now we are going to be deploying our overcloud.
Yes.
And from a network topology point of view, our bare metal nodes follow the same thing as our undercloud node here. Actually, there's a lot of stuff here, so I'm going to SSH over into a random compute node and look at that. So if we look at it, ENO2 is our default interface. Route get one, so we can see that's our default interface. So we want to leave that alone.
Mm-hmm.
And then ENO1 is our internal network,
Yep.
and that's where we're gonna do all of our tomfoolery.
Okay.
So, with a bit of luck, ENO1 will get. Well, we'll deploy OVS with OVN with OVS, and ENO1 will then become an interface to the OVS integration bridge, and then
Mm-hmm.
a bunch of networks will get subnets will get created under that bridge, and those subnets should be able to talk back to our under cloud node, and our compute and controller nodes should be able to communicate all through that. The question is whether or not the network itself will allow that traffic to happen. So we'll find out.
Would it depend on the subnet and the IP space we give it, or is it kind of a? Is this more of a? They turned off multicast, so we're completely up a creek.
They could have turned off any number of things to make us up a creek, but I mean that doesn't mean it's not feasible. It's not workable. So we can go back and get rid of some of the network isolation stuff, and then use just this 10 dot space, and then redo the deployment. But we're going to roll forward with like the default config with all of the different IP spaces.
Okay.
But yeah, so we could be I'm I'm hedging all bets and saying we could be in a bad way, but I think we'll make it go. If not this
Sounds
stream, then maybe another one.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
So yeah, like the only thing that there is to do is to run it. And so I have my little RC thing, and we'll hit that real quick just again to see what that looks like. And I've got a little stack name named IBM Cloud, right?
Yay.
That's what I named it. So this is our IBM Cloud and Cloud.
Cloud.
Yeah, I put that on Twitter.
That's good.
Yeah, it was good. I thought it was cheeky. But yeah, I mean, these are the basic parameters that we're kind of throwing out there, right? Everybody's going to use this dual NIC multi VLAN Jinja template. That's for our network configs, and we'll crack that open here in just a second. These are some basic cloud names. Some of it is not used, like the Ceph stuff. We're just, that we're not deploying Ceph. But if we ever wanted to, the config would be there to allow us to do it. Setting some Nova parameters, which allow us to deploy, with disk caching enabled and using Q35 machines and stuff like that. We have our container CLI, which is Podman. Everything's Podman. We don't Docker. Everything's Podman. And we have some basic image stuff, DNS servers.
Which DNS server is that?
OpenDNS.
Oh, did not know that.
Indeed. A Cisco company. But yeah, OpenDNS. I don't know. I just default to them.
Cool.
Yeah.
I default to 8.8.8.
Yeah. I use that as my backup. Yeah. You never, sometimes one goes down, the other remains.
Did you know about 9.9.9?
Negative. What's 999? Other than the emergency number in Australia.
Exactly. I believe it's actually an IBM company now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's like a privacy first DNS provider. Quad 9, I think it's called.
It's the DuckDuckGo of DNS.
I believe so.
9.9.9.9 DNS. Oh yeah, there it is.
Yep.
Today I learned.
There you go. See, you learned something. Like you're teaching me this cloud stuff because I still don't get it, and I taught you something. I feel like there's what is it called? Equal ground here.
Indeed.
There you go.
It's a synergistic relationship.
There you go. Perfect.
We're synergizing across the value chain. No.
That's
Anyways,
great. That's great.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
great.
Okay, so we've got the other important file, which we covered last week, but we'll cover it again because we're here. These are our nodes. We're starting with two, right? We've got our compute node, and we got our controller. This just specs out the IP space that we're going to use. We have some VIPs that we need.
And just to make sure it's clear, the only reason why we're doing two right now is because we want to make sure that it actually works before shotgunning this out to all of the machines.
Yes.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not dealing with a ton of machines, so it's not going to take a long time. But we are starting with the controller and one compute, and we'll see if we can get it operational. We're embracing fail fast.
Perfect. I like it.
Yes. And then this is Jinja.
We can't see what you're saying.
Oh yeah. Teammate is taking a minute.
Okay.
One moment, please.
Yay.
There it goes. All right. So this is Jinja stuff. It's pretty well annotated in terms. Excuse me. The of what it all means and what it all does. But it's a Jinja template. And this is how the network config for OSNet config is generated.
Okay.
So this will look at all of our networks, iterate through all of them, set public DNS where required, look at our members inside of our network devices, set all of our look at all of the roles we are deploying, which is compute and controller, right? Looking at the MTUs and then making a decision, right? So everything's in a bridge, so we can only use the MTU of the lowest MTU, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all of the members of all of the devices, all the members in a bridge, if there's one 1400, well then it poisons the well. So we want it to be the lowest, which is what we're doing here. We look for VLAN interfaces. We don't have any of those, so kind of not applicable, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we look at those, and then we take a look at the members, right? Everything, all of the different members that we've got, and then we insert them into the space and build out a config.
Mm-hmm.
And then we set that into a bridge, and we build out that, and then we render it all to YAML.
Yay.
Indeed. It's a lot going on there. But
There
that's what's happening. So that's the dual NIC multi-VLAN YAML.j2.
That is it's an intense file. Not gonna lie.
It's an intense file. There's a lot going on there.
There is.
Yeah. We're ginging things. But yeah, I mean, what ends up getting generated looks like OS net config access denied. Looks a lot like this.
Ah. Okay.
It won't look exactly like this, but it looks a lot like this.
Yeah, that's readable.
Yeah.
Kind of see what's going on here.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, this again, we saw the members interface, right? And then the device that's inside of it with the MTU, and then the address with the various net masks, right? So, I mean, we're going to have the same thing, just gingified. And that's that.
Okay.
So, like I said, all that's left to do is to run it.
All right.
And now we run it and pray.
I'm gonna make this a little smaller so we can see everything on the screen.
Sure.
And I think that might be too small, unfortunately.
That's maybe me. Hold on. You made it smaller. I'll make mine now bigger.
There you go. I understand that the text is very small for our audience, but then now it's not wrapped and, it's not ugly.
Agreed. All right. Yeah, that'll do, pig. That'll do.
Mm-hmm. So we are already building.
stuff.
We are building. Yeah, well, I made it small again. Anyway, yes, we are building things. We are. Well, we're not actually building. Heat is generating the configuration now. So that's what Heat. One of the cool things that we did in Master, which is, like I said, coming to a cloud near you, is we use something called ephemeral heat. And instead of running heat as a service that's constantly running and always available, we spin up heat. It generates all of its data, and then it turns itself off and dumps the database. So it's it's basically used to generate config. All of those little templates and properties and parameters and everything else, that's our user interface for configuring your cloud. And what's awesome about it is that it is effectively infinitely configurable.
Interesting.
But that definitely comes with some responsibility, which can seem daunting at times. But Heat makes all of that possible. So Heat reads all those templates, amalgamates all the data, and then we actually generate an Ansible inventory.
Oh wow.
And then kind of go from there.
So is Ansible coming with the new backbone for TripleO here in the future?
It has been.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not new for TripleO. In 13, things began to be Ansibleized, and then actually I think it was 10, but either way, it was a while ago, and we've just continued to march down that path.
And just to make sure that people know, the release is 19 now. Is that right? Am I wrong?
16 is the current stable. Yes.
16. Okay.
Yep.
Time is an illusion and means nothing.
Indeed. We are all just a vibration.
Exactly.
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Wasn't that
cool.
Hunter S. Thompson or something?
That sounds right. So this is a good opportunity. If you're watching right now live, if you have any questions or thoughts, please don't hesitate to throw those in the chat. We're just going to watch some scrolling text for a little bit here. Not too long. These are relatively beefy machines that should be able to pull the stuff down relatively quickly.
Yeah, I think the thing that's going to take the longest is this initial template generation stuff. And then it'll descend right into the Ansible runtime, and away it'll be going. We'll see how far it gets, because then it's going to generate that Jinja stuff, and
Called it.
yeah,
There's Ansible.
there's the Ansible. So yeah, that's creating the Ansible inventory, right? And then it authorizes the admin user to ensure that it can do what it needs, and then it starts working on its deliverables. One of the very first things is generate that the network config, right? And so we'll know pretty early on whether or not our template is correct or acceptable for the environment.
So quick aside, there's a lot of information in this Ansible run. My Ansible runs are never this verbose. How do you get all this information?
So we've done a few things to enhance that. Oh, well, there's your failure. But we've done a few things to enhance the information here. And if you're familiar with Ansible output, it normally doesn't look like this.
No, not at all.
And the reason is, they've got a default format. And so we've created some callback plugins to make it look more uniform, which is, it's good, because if you're coming from an OpenStack space, then you're like, this looks familiar, right? I've got a timestamp at the beginning, I've got a UUID in the middle, and then I've got the state and some information, some data.
Mm-hmm.
And if you cruise around and look through all of these things, you'll notice like these UUIDs are matching for this task. Right. And so if you do get into a situation where something fails, or we're using async and it's, processing other things, but then fails on, collecting async data, you can look at the UUID and then kind of track backwards and be like, ah, look, there's the UUID. Yeah, there's the A, there's 24C. And so, like, this is all information that's just in Ansible. We're just displaying it in a way that we felt made operators' lives easier.
Wait, Kevin, are you telling me distributed systems are hard?
Yeah, it's blasphemy, but yeah,
Careful.
yeah, it's blasphemy. It's blasphemy, but yes. So, but anyways, yeah. So we just started changing the way that the output kind of looks, just so that it's easier to understand, and so that people can kind of grok what's happening in real
It's very
time.
good. I tip my hat to y'all. I really do. It's like I was able to tell what was going on very quickly when I saw it, but I was like, that's not the normal Ansible run.
Yeah. It's just a little bit different, but it is not. Yeah. If you're just coming in from Ansible and had no TripleO experience, you can look at this and go like, oh, that's Ansible. Or if you do have OpenStack experience, you come in and look at it and you're like, oh, this was OpenStack. That makes sense. So, because again, we're orchestrating this entire deployment using the OpenStack CLI.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see where we have gone wrong with our life choices.
MTU problem.
Is it? No. I think that's just standard. I think that's just template data.
Template error when string expected token got string. Comma.
Yeah, I think I probably have a fat finger problem somewhere.
Disappoint me, Kevin.
Yeah, it's par for the course. Expected token, comma, got string.
Is the public DNS not supposed to be a list?
No, that's a list. I think it's the interface. I think it's the interface members. Because I modified this template from a different one. I'll pull the base and we'll diff them real quick.
Cool. And I will zoom in if somebody would like us to, but right now there's a lot of text we got to look at. So old man eyes over here needs to zoom out.
Yeah, fair enough. I hear you. I got new glasses.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. These old eyes are not what they once were, and they weren't that good to begin with.
Did your prescription jump significantly, where your doctor was like, "Wait a second," or was it more like, "Oh, you're just getting old"?
Yeah, it was more the latter. Like I have a stigmatism and my eye jitters around a whole bunch. So the glasses help correct all that, which is great. But now I need some magnification.
Yes.
So yes, it was. It's expected failure.
Of course. I went to my doctor. These are relatively new glasses too. And, I'm a type 1 diabetic, as most people know who watch the stream. And eyes are the ways to tell if your diabetes are under control.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's the blood vessels in the back of your the blood vessels in the back of your eyes. If they're strong, that means your blood sugar isn't spiking a lot, because that's the first, it's the best way to see, if your other blood vessels are breaking inside your body. And every time I've gone with this to this doctor, it's like, you are significantly good at taking care of your blood sugar. And I'm like, but you should talk to my endocrinologist, because according to him, I'm doing a horrible job.
You're like, you guys need to talk.
Yeah, exactly. There's a miscommunication somewhere around here.
Yeah. Some ain't right.
Yep.
All right. So this is what we'll go back and look at the little diff here, but this is what we modified for this environment from that template.
Okay.
Because that's one of the things that I mentioned before, is that it is infinitely configurable, which is great, but it also means that, there's some significant responsibility that you have to well, that you're taking on.
Yes.
And so I think the issue was, yeah, I think the issue was a comma after primary true. Right here. Ta-da. Womp womp. Anyways, the original template has two network devices that the stack is going to own. One is the control plane interface. The other one is the everything else interface. In this environment, we have the management interface, which is the second NIC, and then we have the everything else interface, which is the first NIC. And so we flipped it, right?
Yes.
Right. In the original template, there are assumed three NICs, and in this environment, there are two. So we're combining a network and we're flipping the order.
Got
So no big deal, but it was something. So yeah, let me fix that. Chat is awfully quiet today.
It really is. We got people
Tech and
watching,
Fire.
though. Yes. We got people watching, though.
Oh, that's good. That's good. All right, we're going to move that back. We're going to dual nick the thing. And we're going to go, because that's what it complained about, a comma. So we'll go and add what it was missing. And, you know, hold my beer, watch this.
Mm-hmm. So, are these templates cached? Are they smart? Is it smart enough to realize that, or does it rebuild everything from scratch?
It rebuilds a lot of it, but it is, there is a cache. Let's see here. I can split the screen. Stack. I had to remember. That's my multiple personality problem again. So here's the file system, right? We're looking at the home directory for the stack user, and if we go into the overcloud deploy directory, you can see IBM Cloud because that's what I named the stack.
Yay.
So if we look at IBM Cloud and look at all of those files, you can see the cloud install, and then there's a little tarball there. So every time we run it, it's going to date stamp the relevant data and tar it up so that you can restore it if there's a problem.
Nice.
Like, let's say you accidentally something, you have a backup to go unaccidentally yourself.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we have the concept of config download, which is, you know, our Ansible stuffs. And then again, we have our IBM Cloud. Blech. And here's a whole bunch of playbooks.
Wow.
Right. So TripleO Ansible inventory.jjaml. We can look at, you know, here's our controller, here's our compute node, and it's just a stock standard, pretty basic, easy to understand Ansible inventory.
That is,
Lots of groups, lots of stuffs, right? I mean, it's all, you know, procedurally generated, so it's which is what Heat is doing for us. But yeah, this is basically giving us our cloud information, how we're going to deploy our stuff, and how Ansible is going to interact with the environment.
nice.
Long path, home stack, overcloud deploy, IBM Cloud, config download, IBM Cloud. But yeah, I mean, this is just what's nice about that too is, you know, if this was, you know, had some sort of shared file system, or like if you were, you know, cephing things, or if you had NFS, or if you just want to create a backup, it's pretty easy just to tar up your home directory and move along.
Nice. So we haven't actually talked about this, so let's talk about this now, which is if this actually builds and we get there, how are we going to interface with it? Do we interface it from the controller? Do we interface it from the undercloud? Do I do it from my laptop? Like, what's the best way to get to this cloud?
We should be able to get to it through the public interface on the controller.
Oh.
But yeah. Yeah, assuming everything works, yeah, we should be able to get to it through the public interface on the controller.
Nice.
Which means, chat will be able to DOS your cloud.
Yes. I immediately acknowledge that.
Yeah. But I mean, it's pretty configurable, pretty easy to do, and we should be able to get to it from that.
Nice.
At a minimum, we'll be able to get to it from the 10 dot space on the undercloud. So if you were to fence off your public interfaces, as was probably advisable, so that there's no SSH to them or anything else like that, you would then interface with it with your undercloud as your jump box. There will be an overcloud.rc file on the undercloud in the home directory, and those are your credentials for your OpenStack deployment. And so you can use the OpenStack CLI to provision resources, create networks, download images, et cetera, et cetera. And so with that, you could, come through, build out everything that you need, and then assign a floating IP address to those VMs and whatnot.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it broke again.
Render network config template. Undefined.
And because this is procedurally generated, that's gonna be some digging, isn't it?
Yeah, it's probably something, like I said, we modified that's template. So if we diff them again, we probably have something here that
there's no comma. Oh, no, wait. Never mind.
probably something that we removed. New routes. I think the issue is new routes.
They're supposed to be old routes.
Indeed. Only old routes are used. So new routes, right? Mm-hmm. Item assigned used before assignment. So this is the problem here.
Because it wasn't there.
Indeed.
You want to delete it afterwards so it's not.
Yep.
Yep. See, I'm paying attention.
Indeed.
I am.
There we go. There's our new routes. Done.
Yay.
Third time's a charm. And this time
Always
we'll do
is.
it. This time we'll do it with force, with gusto.
With gusto. There we go. Some pods starting up. Have you ever read the book Time Management for System Administrators?
Negative.
Really?
No.
Really?
Is it like?
It's great. I read it about 5 years or so, and it's an O'Reilly book, and little bits and pieces stick with me each time I read it, and I'm coming up to my next reread because it's been about 5 years.
Huh.
And
What are the key takeaways?
The short of it is
Manage
we
your
spend our
time.
time. Yeah, right. we spend our time as system administrators, well, DevOps or whatever you call us now. I don't even know. Operations people, whatever. You write scripts to do things to make your life easier.
Fact.
The one that's always the one that's always stuck with me is you need to start using that for your time management. Believe it or not, if you have a place for your keys for your car, for instance, or your house keys or whatever, if you always put them in the exact same place, it's like writing a script, so you don't have to ever think about it. It's always there. You put your shoes in the exact same spot every single time. That's less overhead for you to worry about. You were rushing out the door trying to remember where your shoes and your keys are. And that simple thing is revolutionary. It truly is.
I mean, that makes sense. I do that. Like, I have a closet full of, old and aging tech and cables that I have never thrown away. But
But
I
you're gonna
have
need
I
that
have
power cable.
bins. I have
need that
I
power
have
cable.
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, if you need a PS2 cable, from like an IBM AT, PC from the early '90s, I got you. Uh, but yeah, the I've got this box, well, I've got boxes of things that I go to Home Depot and I buy these little clear bins. So I have one for like literally everything that's USB, and I have everything PCB, like, daughter boards or whatnot that I have put into servers, and I've got one for power supplies and one for power cables, specifically power cables. So yeah, I do that.
So you have a box of power.
I have a box of power. It is my box of power. Yes. Come on, bud. My dog was wanting to be a part of the show.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah,
So is he wearing a jacket?
he is. It's cold out here in Texas.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I guess I'm wearing a jacket too.
Yeah. He's got his little Marty McFly jacket on.
Ah, nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
he's my little gremlin.
My little buddy's still at boot camp, but we've got
Oh
some
yeah?
pictures and some videos.
How's that
And,
going?
he's actually doing some of the stuff the trainer's saying.
Ah,
It's glorious. It's glorious.
love it when a plan comes together.
Absolutely. I'm really excited about the place command or the place statement. Have you heard of this? Is this a normal
Yes.
thing? Yeah.
We do that. Yeah.
Yeah. What
So
do
like
you
when
use as your what does you use as your thing?
Well, so originally we used a box.
Oh.
And like it was just like a wood box, and then put it down and on your place, and then it goes down in the box, and then they have to sit there and they get a treat. Now they have there's like a little hallway area where we say to your place, and then they go and sit. They basically line up
Yep.
because
The trainers,
we have 3 dogs.
that's right.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Something else broke. Oh, that's just the validation. That should be fine. Maybe not.
Well, this actually, so it rendered the template and it applied the config, and then it attempted to ping the
NIC.
the node.
Yeah.
And so this is where I was saying, I don't know if we're going to be able to do that, but we're going to find out. So yeah, now we're no longer, dealing with PEBCAC problems. Now we're actually troubleshooting whether or not the network is responding in the way that we believe it should. But anyways, yeah, to your place. That's the thing. We do that.
Yep.
Um,
The trainer was telling us that it's you can train the dog to, when you tell them to place, they calm themselves down. Like, instead of you having to like trying to distract or calm the dog.
Yeah, good.
You train place to be like, now it's time for you to chill, and you could chill by yourself for a minute or whatever, like cool off kind of thing. That's interesting.
That's actually kind of cool. What do I want?
I mean, they're chilling out. Of course, it's cool.
Yeah. Okay.
That doesn't look right.
All right. So it did the right thing in that it only messed with the first nick, which is what we wanted. We didn't want it to mess with the EN02. However, that looks like a no-go. So, questions. That was 10.88. Obviously, that's not going to work because there's no IP space there. But what was the IP address of OS Compute, the 10 dot space? I think it was 75, if I'm remembering correct.
OS, yes.
No, that was
No,
OS dash compute.
Sorry,
Or was that
79.
91?
No, 79.
79. Yeah. Well, okay. I was way off. Let's see here.
That's a problem. IPA. It's not there.
Oh, okay. That was the undercloud. All right. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. And did the OVS interface stuff right. But EN01 has that 110. EN01. Well, I think it was 88, right? No.
Try 66.
For OS Compute?
OS Compute is 79 or 79.
BREX. Okay, so we. Let's
Talking about the wrong interface? Is that what I'm saying?
No. Oh, and we can try that actually. But okay, so this is what I did. I added back the 10 dot address because that looks like it was removed. And so that 10 dot address 79/26 is on BREX, and now I can ping the undercloud, which is good. However,
Wait, undercloud is 88?
I believe, yeah. Yes.
My notes are
10
wrong.
dot
Mine says 66.
10.948688.
Yep, and then 94 is the IPMI. That doesn't matter. And 53 is the external. Yeah, okay. Yeah, my notes are wrong. My bad.
All right. So I can ping that, which is great, but add Dell. And now I'm going to add... I just added a random address.
Mm-hmm. Well, that might be out of that space.
That could be out of that space, yeah.
Try
Dell.
78.
What's not used? Like 73, 78 is not used?
78, I think, is not used, correct.
Okay. Okay. So it allows the 10 dot space to work. Let's try adding... let's get rid of that.
I'm going to make the text a little bit bigger.
Sure.
Ah,
Enhance.
exactly.
Enhance.
There you go.
All right. Okay, so this guy happens to be 192.168.24.110/24. Whoop. So we're going to add that.
Yep.
Blech. Computer says no. It's not allowing that address space. So we're probably getting knacked
Yeah.
at the switch level.
Can we see if the Class B works? 172.16, whatever.
Oh, yeah. None of that is on the undercloud.
Oh, no. Oh,
Negative.
oh, the number 9 right there, the control plane, that's what we need to be. The number 9 BR control plane, we need to be in that name or that subnet space.
Yes. So it looks like BREX is connected to EN01.
Okay.
And if I come back over onto the undercloud, BR control plane
Yep.
is connected to the same NIC, but it's ENP2SOF2.
Yeah. Damn.
So
our overcloud of the IBM cloud is stopping our undercloud of our undercloud for our overcloud.
Yeah, indeed. This is this is the this is why we're doing it live.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
so let's install Kubernetes.
Indeed, yeah. That'll solve the problem.
There you go.
Yeah.
So if we're being killed at the switch,
Yep.
there's no way around that.
Not really. Well, we can. So we have floating address spaces, right? We have the.
We do.
We have the 169 address spaces, right?
Yeah, let me bring up the little chart real quick.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Also be helpful I didn't lock my computer in the middle of sharing the screen.
Ruh-roh.
Yep, sorry about that, everybody.
No feed was lost. No feeds were harmed in the making of this. So,
Got to do my 2FA and all that stuff. Give me a second. I really am who I am. I swear.
yeah, I promise.
Come on, computer, do your job.
While you're doing that, I am rerunning it to see if I can generate a different config and see what happens.
Okay. This computer's just being
Computers are
frustrating.
computers.
They really are.
Yeah. I mean, they were a bad idea to begin with, but
Oh, horrible. Horrible.
yeah.
Idea. All right. So here, that is running. Here is this. And then where's my computer thing? Where the hell is it? It's under. Okay, so I got two. I got the public subnet and the private subnet. Which one do we want?
The public subnet.
Public subnet. That was oddly slow.
Yeah, because what I suspect is that we're limited. Like we have our private subnet, which is that 10 dot space, and if we operate within it, we're fine. But if we operate outside of it, we're hosed.
Mm.
So I wonder if we can you provision more private subnet space on those
Private?
network devices?
Let us find out.
Because if so, maybe that's how we solve this problem.
By throwing money at it.
No, yeah. All problems are solvable with just more monies.
Yes. That's a good question. I do have quite a bit of space on the private ones, according to this chart, but I'm still looking to add more. Hang on. All subnets. Oh my god, I hate you so much. Why isn't this in order? 10.94. It says I have 64 IPs on the private network, but it's not giving me the opportunity to add more.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say like, can we add more? Like
I can
and
create,
not
I can
like
create a new
make another
VLAN.
network?
Yeah, I can create a new VLAN and then maybe figure out a way to connect it, but I'm not too sure how to connect it because I think I would have to go into the NIC on the machine. Unfortunately, it's not obvious. That's the problem. I know it's possible, but like the last time I tried to. Go ahead.
if we can add another VLAN, we can change the subnet being used and use that VLAN directly and tell it to configure. Well, basically OSNet config can be told to use VLANs, and then it'll just do that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the last time I hit this problem, I couldn't figure it out, so I just ended up spinning up new boxes.
Okay, fair enough.
I couldn't figure out how to actually do it, and that took like those bare metal machines provisioned actually took like 48 hours to get built.
Rough.
Yeah. So, and if this doesn't pop up in front of me like now, I'm gonna have to go off, and we're gonna have to do have to do another stream with this because I'm not gonna have people just watch me clicking around trying to figure this shit out.
That's fair. Yeah. Yeah.
So give me 2 more minutes here.
No worries. I will continue spinning plates.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. Oh, hold on. I might have actually figured this out. This is Del 10. You want this on the private or public? I'm sorry, I've already forgotten.
The on the private network. Sorry.
Private? Okay.
Yep.
/24.
Sure.
Okay. Which VLAN is? Oh shit! Hang on. That is this one. This is. Oh come on! Did I really delete this from my notes? Hang on. I believe it's 8.5 or 1845. Hang on, just thinking about it. Might have actually got this to work. Come on, really? Perfect. Okay. I will create. Refresh your page in a few minutes to see subnet.
All right. Progress.
Yeah. There we go. Here it is. On the same VLAN we're on of 1845. And here you go. 10, 23, 24, 0/24.
Sweet. Okay.
See, I'm not completely useless. Very much.
I would have never asserted that.
Uh-huh. I was thinking it. I know you were.
Yeah. All right. So bum, 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 bum.
Those are all 172.
Yeah. But we'll just replace it with your new /24.
Got it.
What are, let's see. One moment. All right. Sorry, I'm just referring. I'm RTFMing.
Hey, it's important. I mean, that's part of this
Indeed.
journey. Part of this journey.
Because there are ways to deploy it without it. And I think maybe we can do a mixture of the two.
Mm.
Yeah, because the control plane. All right, let's start with the 192.
Undercloud public. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So, what is our control plane subnet?
Our subnet is 192, or sorry, 10.23.24.
10,
23, 24.
23, 24,
Yep.
0/24. And the gateway is 1?
That is correct.
Ta-da. 10. All right, sorry. 192.168.24 dot. And then you said it's 10 what? 23?
23, 24.
24?
Yep.
Okay. 10, 23, 24. 1 is the gateway.
That is correct.
Okie dokie. Under cloud admin hosts. Oh.
It's 256, I believe, is the end. All right, no, I guess we want that to be small.
Yeah. This would be only if we're provisioning the nodes from our own ironic, which we are not.
Got it. Got it.
I'm just filling out the form, making sure I didn't miss anything. The local IP, because there's a real gateway on this guy. All right. Okay. We're going to try to redeploy our undercloud and use this new address space.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that did not.
I killed it. I killed it.
Oh, okay.
First thing we're going to do is OpenStack network list. OpenStack subnet list. Okay. And do this.
That makes sense.
And then network delete. All right, do this. Okay.
That deprecation warning is gross.
It is. That actually comes from Ansible Runner.
Oh.
Yeah,
Interesting.
it's a bummer, but we're working on it. We're gonna fix it. Yeah,
Good.
but yeah, because we're using Ansible Runner within the Python TripleO client, and it raises that deprecation warning on every invocation, which is annoying. But that is a problem because we're using the clients from the head of master. All right, here we go. We're forcing an update and we're redeploying the cloud, and it should recreate our network.
Well, for good luck, I joined Octothorpe TripleO just now to make sure that it. That's the reason why it hasn't worked yet. It's because I wasn't.
Yeah, oh
actually
yeah,
in the correct
yeah, yeah. You
channel.
weren't a member. You
Yep,
didn't have your
exactly.
members only jacket. That was the problem.
Yep, it was.
Now,
Sorry,
now it's all gonna work.
I failed you, Kevin. Sorry,
Yeah,
buddy.
it's I mean, you got it's like being at Disneyland, right? You got to be this tall to ride.
Exactly.
Like,
So tell me while this is going, why did OpenStack decide to go to OFTC, not LibreChat?
no idea.
Oh, okay.
When when Freenode exploded,
Mm-hmm.
we there was a debate on which IRC network to go on.
Mm-hmm.
I did actually advocate for the LibreChat.
Yeah.
But the or Libera chat. Anyway,
I think Liberia tried it.
yeah. I advocated for that one, but the the infra folks had actually already set up all of their mirrors and everything on OFTC as a fallback, right? They already had that
Oh.
running. That was already there before the Freenode tomfoolery, and so it was a reliable network that has already been there. It was already there, and so they moved to it. But some projects in the OpenStack space are on Libera. So,
Mm.
yeah. The for instance, like, well, there's a if you go onto the Libera network and join pound OpenStack, there's a bazillion people there.
Yep, they really are. But it's so quiet. It's weird.
Oh yeah, it's quiet. It's pretty quiet. But I mean, yeah, there's a bazillion people there, and they're you know they're there. There was a
Yeah.
comment yesterday.
A comment.
So yeah, a comment.
If,
But yeah, like there's there are other channels out there that are within the OpenStack ecosystem or namespace, and or are attached or related to OpenStack in some way that are on either network. So
cool.
I don't know the genesis of it, other than I think it was the path of least resistance.
Mm.
But
Cool.
I know not.
I just saw a possible commit for me to get my ATC. Want to see?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, check this out. I saw this. Oh, nope. Come on. Let me scroll up. Oh, damn. Did I break it? Oh, no.
Oh no, it's just teammate is taking a minute.
Okay, well,
Sometimes it
I
does
saw-
this.
I saw 2 periods instead of
Uh-huh.
one
Wow.
on the end of a sentence. I was like, ha! There we go.
There you go.
Just gotta
There you
find
go.
Just got to find that sentence.
Active technical committer. Yeah. I'm in Garrett.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I spent the time
Yeah.
to get Garrett working. That makes
Yeah,
me
yeah,
a
yeah.
technical committer.
Indeed.
Oh, no, I really did break it, didn't I?
No, I think if you just hit Q, it'll carry on.
Oh, there you go. Oh, whoa. Something's really not happy.
Well, yeah. I mean, we nuked a network. All right. So it can't ping 10.1, 23, 24, 1.
Can we ping it?
Oh wait. So we're gonna say this guy's got
Yeah, the B control plane has the IP. So it's slash 32. It's not a 24. And there's that 192 network again.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't take the address off, so I mean we could delete it, but we deleted the neutron network, so it won't provision more of it. Weirdly, it's trying to ping .1. Which okay, the .2 is working. So I think if I remember right,
Gotta be fast on that hardware mute button.
oh yeah. But see, that's like we have a real gateway, right?
Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yeah. My dog wants out.
Yeah.
I don't know
Well,
if you hear it.
Yeah, we can actually.
Sorry.
We're coming to, half past. So
Yeah. Well,
we
let
can
this.
call it. We can call it.
I'll let this update again, and we'll see what we can get out of it.
Okay.
But yeah, this is we need to reconfigure our network to hopefully use this extra network for the control plane at least, and then deploy the overcloud with just this one extra network, and we hopefully we'll be able to make it all go now.
I like it. Well, I guess, does that mean we're coming together next week?
If you want to continue on this merry
Yes, I
adventure,
do.
sure, yeah,
Okay. All right.
yeah. I'm game.
All right. So part four this time, same time next week.
Same bad
And,
channel.
Yes, exactly. All right. Thanks, Jeff, for sticking around. And this stuff will be up on YouTube here in a little bit. Say bye, Kevin.
Bye, Kevin.